Well, I do not anticipate many people joining me live, but I don't give a flying fuck. I'm just gonna talk because I feel like this is a good time to talk. Also, don't judge me. I probably shouldn't be using these wipes to clean off paintings, but I don't know any better, and they're dusty, so I'm doing it. I'm selling some paintings this holiday season. I'm going to show you them as I clean them. Actually, I'll show you some of the ones I've already cleaned as well. I started painting, like paint pouring, during COVID. It was one of the many artistic ventures that I kind of dove headfirst into. And like I painted a lot of paintings, and they've just been sitting around here because I was like, no one's gonna want to buy them. I don't know what to do with them. They're just gonna sit in storage. And then all of a sudden I'm like, people want my paintings. And I'm like, idea, right? No, let's do this one. See, they're stuck. So, yeah, so some of them obviously like this. I might come back and like play with that and do something different. But if, let's say you want this one as is and it's got like a part missing in the corner because it's gotten stuck with something else, like obviously I'm gonna cut you a deal. Like I'm not gonna charge you full price for a painting that is like that. But like, that's so pretty. So okay, these are some of them, right? I know the lighting in here is not the best. The angle isn't the best, but you get an idea, right? But anyway, so story time, right? Story time with Kai, with Love Kai. I don't know, I'll play around with that. Who's Kai? I know some of you are curious, and I have been gatekeeping in a sense. That story, oh my god. Okay, side note. This one has been signed by an animal. They have left their mark. This one also still has like the bottle caps that I use to elevate it. On it. But anyway, what was I saying? Animals. Kai. So Kai was a cat. I started fostering with a cat rescue that has since closed down. They still have the space that they were in, but they're no longer an active nonprofit. I started fostering them, or with them, in 2021 during COVID. And it was interesting because I had my own cat growing up. My sister had her cat, and I was so jealous when she had a cat and I didn't have a cat yet, but then I got my cat. I also have traumatic experiences with pets. Like, those are stories for another time. They get sad. And when I say traumatic, I mean like, traumatic. Oh wow. It's very orange and gold. That's interesting. And silver. Part of me's like, silver and gold. Anyway, so Kai was a cat. I started fostering with 7 Whiskers. Oh, my cat. She passed away in 2016. And I will go into that story more another time. Look, another animal got that one. After she passed, I was so heartbroken. I was like, I'm never having a cat again. Like, I can't do it. I can't go through this pain. And I kept my word for what? So she passed in June of 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Like 5.5 years. Because I started fostering in like October of 2021. Also, I am pro LGBTQIA+. I am part of the queer community. So, I'm just putting that out there. Anyway, she passed in 2016. I started fostering in 2021, and it's funny because I went to this cat rescue, right? And I was like, I want to adopt a cat, maybe 2, right? I had 2 dogs at the time. I still only have 2 dogs, same dogs. I would love a pitty, but my older dog is 11 and she's kind of set in her ways. I don't think she would enjoy having another dog. So one day I will have a pitty, but until that day I have 2 Shiba Inus. The only kind of Doge that I support. So I went into 7 Whiskers, which was the rescue, and I'm like, I would like to adopt 1 cat, maybe 2. And I had my eyes set on Siamese, especially long-haired. I was like, yes. They didn't have any long-haired Siamese, but they did have a litter of Siamese kittens. Not all. There were 2 that were not Siamese. So, guess who left the rescue agreeing to foster a litter of 6 kittens? This bitch. That kind of snowballed. I now have double digits in the sanctuary. The most that I ever had in the sanctuary or at the sanctuary. I think I had 20 cats. In my defense. It was at a time when like 2 different people found out, oh, Emily fosters cats. Here's a pregnant cat. You can take them in. And I didn't know how to say no. And I'm like, well, I would rather bring a pregnant cat into my home than have it give birth in a sewer and like have them drown or something. Also, doesn't this look kind of like Jupiter? I'm obsessed. Dude, they're kind of like planets. Oh, that could be a theme. Okay, anyway. So yeah, I agreed to bring in pregnant cats thinking, oh, they're gonna have kittens. They're gonna be adopted so quickly. I don't even have to do anything because mom will take care of them. Okay, that is not always true. Like, it was a lot of work. And also, not all of them were adopted. And it's been so long that I'm like, I mean, they're basically mine now. Like, I don't know if I could actually part with any of mine. So, there's that. They might just be permanent residents of, like, I don't know, there's a few projects in the works, one of which is a cat cafe. So, I have to find the right team. I need to do all the business plan stuff and the funding and all the things that I think are boring. But you need to do, particularly if you're going to have like a brick and mortar business. Like, yeah. There's like this version of me, the free spirited artist who's like, fuck all this. I don't give a fuck about capitalism. Who needs to do all the like red tape stuff to open up a business? Like, I don't care, but you have to. So it's a slow process, but it will happen. But anyway, back to the point. This is me like fully unscripted, by the way. Unrehearsed as well. This one's really interesting. It's got some fun texture on it. Huh. It's like foster cat who I knew. I'm gonna have to come back to that one and do something with it. Oh no, it's stuck. It's like cracking a clam and opening up to the pearl sequins. My curl, just FYI, is 62. I think 0.1. That sounds right. But anyway, Kai was like, he was a soulmate cat, let me tell you. He was sick. His story, he, as far as everyone is aware, was born outside, in an area where there was somebody local. Ooh. I mean, the edge is kind of ripped, so I might have to go back and touch that up, but like, look at that. That's pretty. He crossed 2 lanes of traffic from where he typically was to where somebody fed a local colony. He was rescued, brought into Seven Whiskers, and literally upon seeing him, I'm like, well, he's mine. And I lied and was like, I'm just gonna foster him. We all know that I was gonna keep that boy. He was sick, so he was quarantined from the other animals for a while. I slept with him in the bathroom for a little bit. I got one of those hoodies with the pockets in it, so I could put him in the hoodie and walk around with him. It was adorable. And he would do this thing where like he would kind of hug my ankle. So I would pick him up and then put him in it. It was just like, he was the best cat. And he was sick. He started getting better, but then he ended up taking a really quick turn for the worst. We believe that he had FIP, dry form, which is really difficult to catch, and harder to cure. You can cure FIP, it's just still black market, so it's expensive as fuck. But he ended up, like, well, you don't need the gory details. He passed. It was, again, traumatic. And he wasn't the first foster cat to pass, but the first one that passed, I didn't let myself grieve. And so Kai's death hit me harder because of it. And honestly, like, if I look back on it, part of me thinks that it also hit harder because I don't think that I had ever grieved my first cat's death. And she was 17 when she passed, so she was with me through a lot. Like, a lot. I won't go into that because if I go into it, I'm sure I'm gonna cry. We don't need to see that right now. I have done enough crying lately, like, good lord. Thank you to my friends who have been there for me as I move through things. Dude, I'm obsessed with these paintings. Part of me's like, girl, look at you go. Like, look at that. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do, but if I were me, I would want to buy these. Anyway, yeah, so Kai passed, and I had already had this idea, right, where I want to create a space, a sanctuary for healing, for animals and people. And Seven Whiskers had an idea to have a cat cafe. But they were never able to make it happen for whatever reason. And so I come in and I'm like, I want to make this happen. But I want to make it my own. So I have a lot of ideas. I cannot do it all by myself. Like, there's a voice in the back of my mind that's like, Emily, yes, you can. And I'm like, I know that I can. But also, I know where I'm going in life. And, like, I am not going to be able to sustain this on my own. Like, I'm going to need a team. So that's in the works. I am finally beginning to open up to people a bit more about it and trust people. I'm figuring out who is actually right for this project. And yeah, side note. Look at Ellen. Trans people are people too. I'm just saying. I don't give a fuck what's between your legs. You should still have the right to vote, to get married, to do all of the things, right? Except for married children or anything like that. Like, and ironically, the people who are in that community, vast majority of the time, are not the people doing this. One could argue that on some level they are, because, like, the repressed stuff, right? But that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different thing. This one's interesting. It's like cells. And there's like a face. I love abstract art. Anyway. Good Lord. I'm sure some people who are like actually really knowledgeable about like how to take care of art are looking at me like, oh my God, this woman. I'm sorry for offending you. I'll do better. Teach me, right? I love to learn. I am a lifelong learner. Fun fact, I come from a line of educators. Both of my parents are educators. My mom, she's a teacher. She taught elementary school for most of my life. Silver and black. My dad, he's done a lot of different things, but he's a college professor. So he has his PhD in computer science. And then, like, grandparents were educators as well. They did a variety of things. But, like, immediate family. My brother has his PhD in mathematics. He's a professor up in Pennsylvania. I think it's Penn State. Don't quote me on that. It's, like, one of the main ones. And then my sister has her PhD in creative writing. And she is a professor in Arkansas. Part of the trans theme. Ooh, I feel like I've got another one of those somewhere. Maybe not, so maybe it's just two, but that will be a pair. Yeah. Anyway, and then there's me. I am not a traditional teacher. Although one could very easily argue that I am a teacher or an educator or a guide or an instructor, fill in the blank, right? My bachelor's is in psychology. I have a minor in women's and gender studies. I almost had a double minor in women's and gender studies and international communication studies, but I was like a couple of credits short, and by the time I was ready to graduate, I'm like, I'm checked out. I'm done. I don't need more classes. I got directly into a PhD program straight out of graduating with my bachelor's. All of this will come back to Kai, don't worry. I also at the same time got into a master's program, and sometimes I wonder, like, if I had done the master's program, would I have completed it? Because I did not complete the PhD program. I went with the intention of becoming a professor. The PhD would have been in transnational gender studies. I got through one semester and then I left. Moved to Florida with the intention of living here for only 6 months. It has been. January will be 13 years. Not all in the same spot, but like one could very easily argue that I am now a Floridian. Oh no, this one has an actual hole in it. Well, I could play with that. I could do something there. Okay. That's just like a TBD. Work in process. Honestly, a lot of these, the ones like, for example, this one, where it's got like, where it got caught, so things got ripped. I'm like, I could do something unique there. Anyway. I also recently, well, 2 years ago, when I left my corporate job, I was also starting a master's program at the University of Florida to get a master's in shelter medicine because I thought I was going to open up an animal sanctuary, right? And like, obviously, I should get a master's in shelter medicine so I know how to do it. But something about it didn't feel right when I was in it, so I ended up leaving. Failure again, right? I remember my mom when she found out, no shade to my mom. Like, let me be fully transparent and clear there. No shade to my mom. But she did make a comment. She made a comment about my daughter, the dropout. And as somebody with a lot of wounding around starting things and not finishing them, that hurt, right? Particularly when it comes to things like education, when I am the least educated, traditionally, person in my immediate family. Oh, look at these cute little ones. Oh my gosh, I'm so sore. I need to stretch tonight still. Anyway, yeah. So I dropped out of that, and I have been spending the last few years studying a lot of random things. I've been following my spark. And it's funny because the original idea that I had, right, with regards to the sanctuary and opening up a cat cafe, it has evolved so much, which has been one of the reasons why, oh yeah, I forgot I did this one. It's been one of the reasons why this has been a slow process, because I haven't been able to verbalize exactly what this is yet to people. Partially because it shifts, right? Based on who's involved, and like as I have grown, and it's finally starting to come down. These are part of my, okay, it's back. Part of my Hogwarts series. I would be a Slytherin, by the way. Although it's funny because sometimes people are like, no, Emily, you would be a Hufflepuff. And someone told me once that Hufflepuffs are just, no. Someone told me Slytherins are Hufflepuffs who have been burned. I'm like, yeah, that's me. I do like fire. And as a water sign, that's like kind of a recipe for disaster. Let's see, where do I have fire in my chart? I only have fire only in my Mars placement. Yeah, so my Mars is in Aries. Conscious, 3.3 to be exact. Which is fascinating because this is human design in the Gene Keys, by the way. But fascinating because I'm a projector. I don't have anything below my G center defined. So my G, my throat, my ajna, and my head are all defined. Everything else is undefined. But Pluto has been retrograding. It's not retrograde anymore, but it's been in gate 60 for a very long time. Gate 60 connects to the 3. So my Aries, my conscious Aries, which equates to the sphere of EQ in the Gene Keys, has been going through an alchemization process for the past however many months. Fascinating. Like, fascinating. I know some of my friends are like, I love it when you say that. Fascinating. And I was going to say, it's fascinating. I also, side note, this live is wild. I recognize that. It's all over the place. I grew up on sci-fi. So I remember as a kid, on Friday nights, at least in Mankato, I feel like we did something similar when we lived in Egan, but I don't remember specifics. But like, our family Friday nights would be getting pizza from Papa Murphy's, and good Lord, did I get sick of that pizza, while watching Star Trek on the Sci-Fi Channel. Like, we watched the Star Trek movies, Star Wars. I'm not, like, I couldn't tell you all of the details and everything, but, like, I get it. I get Avengers, I get all the things. Like, I get it. I am a nerd at heart. But anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, Spock says fascinating, right? So part of me is like, Emily, are you a Vulcan? No, I'm not. This one's nice. See, I'm going to have to go through these and figure out what ones I want to keep, because some of these would be really good for the Cat Cafe. That's happening. Cat Cafe by day. Hey, look, that rhymed. Maybe a Kava Lounge? Oh, Lord. Okay, this one's complicated. By night? I don't know. I've got, like I said, I have a lot of ideas. Oh, no. There. I'm not going to obviously go into them all publicly because I know that not everybody can do what I can do, but also, like, this is one of those ideas where I'm like, I am willing to give my ideas out. I can't do all the things. Like, if you have the energy for something and you need, like, a spark of inspiration, that's literally what I do. That's what people pay me for. Let me help you move through something. I have a lot of ideas that, like, I would love to see out in the world, but, like, I know it's not meant for me. Come to me. Let's talk. Like, let's do it. But this one, I don't know, it's gonna be big. Like, it's bigger than just a cat cafe, right? I am, just for any of you who are unaware, a crazy, childless cat lady. I'm just saying. Anyway, with love, Kai. Oh my God. Okay. There we go. So with love, Kai is a valediction. It's how I sign off. It's a way that I play. Like, a portion of everything that I earn financially goes towards, obviously, one, feeding my animals and making sure that they are fed, and making sure that I am fed, because I am also an animal. We are animals. Check it out. It's a good book. Jennifer Cates wrote it. Full transparency, she is my sister. Part of me is like, I could go into that. How many more paintings do I have? We're going to wrap it up when I'm done. Those are stories for another time, though. But I love my sister. Like, we had our issues, just like every family does. But at the end of the day, I love her. And I will always support her. So, go buy her book. Hopefully not on Amazon. Like, please, there are other avenues. Might I suggest your local library possibly, but local bookstores, if they don't have it, a lot of times you can request that they get it in. Otherwise, the link that I have in this bio, and then the other ones I think I'll put it in as well, goes directly to the publisher, which also lets you buy through Amazon and things like that. But like, just for everything right now, right? Like, if the corporate, like Amazon, Target, are literally the only way for you to get something, fine. But if you can avoid that, avoid it. It might take you a little bit longer to get something. It might be harder to find. But at the end of the day, the billionaires don't need your money. The people do. I'm just saying. Anyway, okay, where was I going with that? You got me all worked up. Oh, look, there's paw prints on that one. That's adorable. Like, ignore the dust, but also the dust is what lets you see the paw prints. That's cute. Anyway. Yeah, so with Love Kai and everything that I'm creating and doing with that, it's bigger than just a cat cafe. That's also been part of what's kind of created a bit of a block for me in terms of figuring out how to, how to move with the, the business side of things. Side note, that's gonna suck if like the sound on this is horrible, but oh well, it is what it is. Oh my goodness. Come on. There we go. But yeah, it's moving along. It's coming along. This has been a very long gestation process, but it's about to be birthed. And yeah. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to say about that? I don't think so. So, here I am cleaning off all of these paintings that have just been in storage for the past couple of years. And side note, I love, as I'm sitting here cleaning off all of my artwork, all of my creative works, the fact that I keep on remembering, thank you Mercury retrograde, something that somebody that I used to know told me once. They were, call them a mentor, a creative mentor, right? they were teaching me a new craft, and I was asking questions. Oh my God, this one's really dirty. And I don't know for sure what I said that triggered their reaction. I have my theories, but they said, and I quote, "I can't teach you how to be creative." And I'm just sitting here, literally surrounded by all of my paintings. And I'm like, "I didn't need you to teach me how to be creative, sir. Lowercase s. That's not what I was going to this person for." But that doesn't matter. All of that really just to say, like, if anyone ever tells you that they can't teach you how to be creative, like, I don't know, I question that. That's something that makes my ears perk up, be like, there's something more going on there. But I don't know, that's just something that I notice when I'm working with people. But yeah, I think on that note, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Maybe that one literally, who knows? But anyway, a lot of things are gonna be coming. No promises on timelines yet, because if it's just me, it's gonna come when it's gonna come. You can't rush this. Some kind of song is popping into my head. Oh, you can't touch this. Funny. Once I have a team though, you'll get news a bit more consistently. So, stay tuned. With love, Kai. Just kidding. You know who I am.